Well, it's Thursday, the 19th day of February 2026. Good morning. Welcome to GA Today here on GHOne Television. We are live from our studios here at the Platinum Place. And on Thursdays, I'm really excited to be back after the break on Wednesdays. And yes, it's another beautiful day. Quite a lot to munch on. I'm sure that you've also heard of so many of the stories making the rounds from the unfortunate news about some traders who were allegedly killed in Burkina Faso. There's been some confirmation to that extent. Now, the former defense minister has also been talking about the matter and also the stolen baby from the Mamprobi Polyclinic. Kudos to the Ghana Police Service for retrieving the baby and reuniting the baby with the family. We'll be having a discussion on that because this is not the first time we are hearing incidents of this nature. Mothers go to the hospitals, they give birth, and now they have to worry about their children. Sometimes they are told the babies are dead. Meanwhile, the babies have been sold, sometimes stolen. We'll get into that conversation shortly as well. And it's a Thursday, so yes, later on in the show, Amihere will be sitting with our guests to have the conversations on these matters. And then we'll also look at some interviews that have been lined up for your viewing pleasure. I know if you're an Arsenal fan this morning, like Mutala Inusa, you are very depressed, but if you know, that's how life is. I can see some Arsenal fans in the studio who are really, really sad and depressed, but guess what? That's what the show is for this morning. We will make sure that we uplift your mood and then, give you some pumping in there. As for Mutala, when it comes today, I'm paying major. Well, good morning once again and welcome to the show. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. But let's start this morning with some motivation. And our quote for this morning is from Dylan Thomas, who says, "Life always gives you a second chance. It's called tomorrow." Life always gives you a second chance, and that second chance is called tomorrow. So that's our quote of the morning. Regardless of the situation, no matter where you find yourself, know that life always gives a second chance. The Bible says that, the pain, the suffering may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. And that joy is what we are spreading with you here on the show this morning. So let's check out our video of the day. Right, so we're back, and of course, I told you, Serwaa Amihere will be joining us, and Council is here. Council, good morning. Who are you looking at?
No, but I'm confused as well. Like, who are you talking about? Are you talking about me? Are you talking about our in-house council? Who are you talking
You are
about?
the only council.
We know
here.
the council, so you know that I was also quite looking at you, waiting for your response.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. I honestly thought that he was. You
Oh, no,
were
Queen Ote,
referring to Queen Ote. Anyway,
yeah.
good morning to everyone. It's Thursday, and we're happy, to be here as always. Joshua, what days are you on TV again?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday,
Fridays, yes.
Well, I'm on TV Monday. Thursday, Monday. Thursday, Friday.
Yes.
There's GHOne is in the house. GHOne, what's happening?
And I'm on TV Monday to Friday.
We've all been there, haven't we?
I know.
So, for now, the special prosecutor will be breathing with comfort. The EC chairperson,
and her
GHOne
deputies.
Mensah, and the deputies would also be breathing with ease, because petitions that were sent to the president or the presidency seeking their removal has been determined. The petitions have been determined, and the outcome of the petitions, you note that if you go to Article 146 and its related provisions, it talks about how Superior Court judges are removed. The processes seeking to remove the Chief Justice is also different. When it comes to any other justice of the Superior Court apart from the Chief Justice, it is the Chief Justice who has to look into the petitions and find out if there's a prima facie. If there is, committee is set. And these individuals or officials, the EC chairperson and the special prosecutor, the office is also, when you put it on the table, although they are high court judges, in fact, Court of Appeal judges and all of that. So once a petition of this nature has come to the presidency, it has to be referred to the Chief Justice to inquire, to investigate, and from the face of it, is there anything that warrants that it be investigated to? An investigation means that the parties, those involved, will be called upon to respond and all of that. Now, following that referral to the Chief Justice, the communique has come that upon looking into those petitions seeking their removal, no prima facie evidence has been established in each of the petitions, 7 of them. And so the outcome is that the petitions have no merit, and then they were dismissed on the face value. So when you come to the traditional court, when somebody is being prosecuted, once prosecution is done with 8 cases, the court then will look at the testimony of the witnesses and then will make a determination whether on the face of it there's a case for the accused person to answer. If there's a case, then that person is called upon to respond. But in this case, the petitions that were scrutinized, the Chief Justice is saying that there's nothing to go to the next step. So it was dismissed. And yesterday, the government spokesperson, or the spokesperson to the president, Felix Kwache Ofosu, issued a statement and then communicated saying, so let's look at the next statement. Then the secretary to the president also signed a statement and came out with a statement telling the whole country that the petition seeking the removal of the Chief EC chairperson, the 2 deputies, and of course the special prosecutor Kisie Jaben, all of them have been dismissed because no prima facie evidence have been established in each of them. So that is the communique. So yesterday, you see social media buzzing and all of that. So that's a copy of the statement. And if I will go through what the Chief Justice in fact said, and its letter or his letter to the presidency was quoted, part of it was quoted that while the allegations raise serious constitutional and administrative questions, they do not, on their face, meet the threshold required for a prima facie determination of stated misbehavior or incompetence warranting that a committee be set upon to inquire into the petition. The petition largely rests on conclusions of unlawfulness and bad faith without establishing a preliminary level, clear facts demonstrating intentional wrongdoing or a manifest inability to perform a constitutional function, even if the Commission's actions or inactions are assumed to be erroneous, controversial, or optimal, such as shortcomings do not automatically translate into stated misbehavior or incompetence within the constitutional sense. So that is the statement or the outcome of this particular petition, as vis-a-vis from the Chief Justice to the Presidency. So these officials are now clear to do their work.
Their job. Yeah. So they don't have any fears going forward, at least for now.
For now, yeah.
Unless
there's another petition
that is sent,
that comes out, and then we have
it meets
to go
the threshold.
Exactly, because you just said unless there's another petition, but it has to meet the threshold of a prima facie case
before you can cross the barrier.
Well, interesting.
Yes.
What else have you got?
So
that's all I have to say about it.
So just when I was talking about the threshold and then the prima facie and all of that, Chairman Wuntumi, yesterday he was in court. He was in court in relation to the Shamaboy incident, where he's alleged to have assigned mineral rights without clear permission from the minister involved. So yesterday you could see him in an all-African print, looking so gorgeous there, moment after the case was adjourned. And yesterday he, and of course the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Mensah, he led the team of state prosecutors to the court. Yesterday, the business of the day was that lawyers of Chairman Wuntumi have indicated to the court that they were filing submission of no case after the state had closed its case. They called 4 witnesses to make their case. Yesterday, they indicated that they filed it in the morning. Deputy Attorney General indicated that, yes, we have received it, but it is very voluminous. And he made a point that, look, submission of no case naturally is supposed to be a very simple submission, because already the court is mandated to make that determination anyway. But it looks like they have filed a voluminous submission, which appears that they are even struggling to make a key point that there's no case against their client. But they will also want to go through, and if there is the need for them to also reply or say something, they will do so. So yesterday, Justice Audrey Kokuvite had to adjourn the case to the 10th of March. And the 10th of March is my birthday, actually. So that day, so that's the day that
you'll be in court.
I'll be in court. So moments after, Andy Apiakubi gave us a summary of his case.
We got the court to understand that we have filed, although we have not come to the docket of the court. We gave them a hard copy of that which has been filed this morning. The court advised that we also save them by a soft copy through a given email address. We'll do so when we go to the office. But the fact still remains that we have filed a submission of notice. The matter has been adjourned to the 10th of March. Whether or not the prosecution will file a response to that is entirely up to them. But if that is done, then we will also be said. If we need to respond to that, we will do. If not, then we'll come for a ruling. We'll come on the 10th to take a date for the ruling on the submission of no case. So for now, the submission of no case is a public document because we have filed it. We are in a position to share with you. So we can even share soft copies of the submission so that all of you can also go through it. Let's all follow it because this is a public interest case. Let's all follow it so that we understand the ruling as it comes. If the ruling comes and we are happy, fine. If we are unhappy, that will not be the end of the ruling. We will challenge it if it comes. We are very hopeful that what the peace we've given to the court will assist the court in coming to a judicious ruling. So we are thankful to you always for your support.
So Andy Apiakubi lawyer for Chairman Wuntumi Yakuntamani, they're giving us some perspective. Moments after the case was adjourned to the 10th of March. And the 10th of March is going to be for status check. And then the date will be fixed for the court to rule on the submission of no case. So if the court finds that prosecution has made a case, the court will call on Chairman Wuntumi to enter into the witness box and defend himself. But if the court is of the view that no case has been made, sufficient case has been made, then he will be acquitted and it's just discharged. So that is the point that we are half-time.
Okay.
What to do.
Interesting. The National Service Authority, the scandal.
Yes, NSS, ghost names. Yes, yesterday, the day before, Osesi Entry was in court. Yesterday, Gifty Oware Mensah was also in court. The reason she was in court is that I remember that the court has ordered her to file list of names and then addresses of her witnesses. She said, no, that is inconsistent with provisions in the 1992 Constitution, specifically Article 19, 2C and E, which talks about presumption of innocence and also adequate time and facility. Now, she's making the point that the court should refer the matter to the Supreme Court. The court dismissed that. She and her lawyers have made a point that they are going to the Court of Appeal. So for that matter, the High Court should stay proceedings. And that motion was filed yesterday. The prosecution also filed an affidavit of opposition, but that has not been served on lawyers of Gifty Oware Mensah. So now the case has been adjourned to the 4th of March for consideration. So the 4th of March, in fact, on the 9th of March rather, this case will come up and the hearing, or they will move their application, and then the court will also, prosecution will oppose it, and then the court will make a determination. So that's what happened in relation to this leg of the case. So Gifty Oware was in court yesterday.
Right. So Mutala, what should we be looking forward to?
Men's good. Nana Apia Mensah is
One.
back in court. So he started giving oral evidence by way of defense. At the last court sitting, he indicated that he will file a witness statement. So we're expecting him to file a witness statement in respect of this very case involving Men's Good customers. You know that he also said that he will assign lawyers to each of the remaining accused persons, that is Men's Good as a company, and of course, Brew Marketing Consort. So today, before Justice Sedinam Awokwadam, we expect Nam1 to come and continue with his evidence by way of defending himself. Then we'll have the Sky Train also coming up. Professor Christopher Amihere, Mr. Solomon Asamoah on your screens now. And of course, that case, as we speak, second prosecution witness is facing cross-examination from the lawyers of the first accused person, Solomon Asamoah. And the lawyers are Mrs. Victoria Bath is a lawyer for Solomon Asamoah. Then the reason why
Of
don't
course.
even talk about it.
I'm talking about because Jones will be bringing us that. So me, I'm not going to say that Arsenal is disappointing.
If there's a day that nobody wants to tempt me,
GHOne, thank you so much. Stay with us. After this, we have some sports news with Jones Saji.
Turns on his right foot. Chachua still.
some other games. Let's get to see the results of the other games in the UEFA Champions League, where the likes to Bodo Glimt surprised Inter Milan 3-1, and we saw Olympiacos. They were at home and lost to Leverkusen by 2-0. Club Brugge and Atletico Madrid. What a game it was yesterday. It ended in a 3-3 draw in there. So second legs will be ended hopefully next week, and then we'll see which teams will make it to the next round of Champions League. Let's head to tennis before I tell you about the World Cup. Obviously, the World Cup is going to be upon us, and countdown is on. We have something special for you from us here at EIB Sports. But let's head to the world of tennis, because Alcaraz, yes, the man Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have made it to the quarterfinals of the Dubai Open, and a great work coming in from Jannik Sinner remain on course to meet in the Qatar Open final after both claimed straight set wins on a Wednesday to reach the last 8 in there. So congratulations to Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz making it to the quarterfinals of the Qatar Open. Let's see if they get to meet in the finals again and who wins this time around. Well, the World Cup is upon us. We have 109 days, yes, to go to the World Cup. And for us here at EIB Sports, we have a countdown for you. We're telling you about the World Cup. Let's watch this video for a minute.
Weddings, possibly even sleep, because the FIFA World Cup 2026 is kicking off. This time, it's a 3-nation party hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. 3 hosts, 1 trophy, millions of fans, and airports that are about to see things. Held every 4 years, the World Cup isn't just a tournament. It's a global mood. Productivity drops. Group chats explode. Suddenly, everyone becomes a tactical expert with strong opinions. Some people say, why all the hype? It's just football. Just football? The World Cup is food, flags, face paint, and full-volume national anthems. It's strangers high-fiving like cousins. It's heartbreak in HD. It's businesses booming and sleep schedules collapsing. For 1 month, the world runs on vibes and VAR checks. Over the years, we've witnessed moments so dramatic they felt scripted. From Pele winning the World Cup as a teenager and then doing it 2 more times for good measure, to Diego Maradona introducing the world to the hand of God, a move still debated in living rooms, to Zinedine Zidane's headbutting Marco Materazzi in a final because sometimes football is theater, to Luis Suarez deciding quite literally to use his hands in 2010 against Ghana. Painful? Yes. Unforgettable? Yes, absolutely. And who could forget Lionel Messi finally completing football in Qatar? Or the 2018 France squad led by then teenage lightning bolt Kylian Mbappe. These aren't just highlights. They are global flashpoints. Moments where the world collectively gasped, cheered, argued, or dramatically fell to its knees. Here in Ghana, the World Cup isn't just something to watch. It's something we feel. It's hope. It's pride. It's shouting at the TV like the players can actually hear us. The tournament creates heroes. It creates villains. It creates legends. Sometimes all in the same week. For some players, 2026 will be a launch pad. For others, a final bow. For fans, emotional roller coaster. No seatbelt provided.
Well, so obviously the World Cup will be happening in 109 days, and for us here, we'll be telling you a lot of stories. Today, we'll tell you about the first ever World Cup, 1930. It will be on the game at exactly 1 p.m. with GHOne and Monica Bukari. Of course, if you love radio, you join us on the Star Sports Digest at 12:30 p.m. That's all for sports. I am Jones Aji, And good morning. Yes, so I say you think that I'm reading something, but I have to do this one because it says Ni Aloti Community 5 Tema Parliament. Please, my boss, I've greeted you. That's all for sports. Let me just say this. We're outside.
Anytime you go to Ho and come back.
No, this is Tema Community 5.
I know, but when you come back from Ho, you do things like this. Anyway, thank you so much. Jones Aji, ADZI, is outside. Well, that's it. This matter. We'll be right back after this break. So Amihere will be sitting with our guests to have conversations of national importance. Stay with us.
You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. I'm Serwaa Amihere. And it's time for the breakfast review. I'm joined in the studio by the Member of Parliament for the good people of Bandai, Matthew Nyindam. In fact, he hasn't been to the studio ever since his win, I should say. So congratulations to you.
My second win.
Your second win. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Serwaa. I'm grateful.
And this is from the entire team, by the way. I just want to know how, the whole thing was for you. I know that you people say, when I say you people, I mean MPs say that you suffer a lot, you struggle a lot, but you still like the position. How was it? You were on the, edge of losing your seat.
Yes, good morning to your viewers and the good people of Bandai. And good morning to you and your team. And I'm grateful for once again congratulating me for the second time. I am very grateful. And let me also start by, first of all, sympathizing with some family members in Bandai. Over the weekends, there was a rainstorm that destabilized quite a lot of people in Bandai. Some are still homeless and trying to put their pieces together. My heart's good with them, and I just want to make a special appeal to NADMO and the authority to see how they can assist these victims. I've started collecting data as a member of parliament to also see what I can do to assist them. Now to your question. Serwaa, it's just by the grace of God, let me put it that way. It was not easy to struggle to win a seat in Ghana. And for some reasons, you were just at the verge of losing your seats. It's been heartbreaking. It's been God. But at the end of the day, thank God today, the mercy of the judges, the 4-1 verdict I got from the Supreme Court, has confirmed my victory, the 2024 victory, and I'm back to Parliament and I'm performing my responsibility as a member of Parliament. But it's not been easy, my dear sister. It's not been easy. It's been very frustrating. It's been very, very, very tiresome. It's been resource consuming of resources. It's been the order of the day. From the 24th of November, 2025, when the verdict came from the High Court, to the 28th of January, when eventually the Supreme Court gave it verdict. It's not been easy for me, but I would just say it's past. I have to re-just focus and see what I can do to help the good people of Bandai.
Were you preparing for another election?
Yes, I was preparing for another election because that was what I could do. Because if you look at what happened, and I've said it, and I'll continue to say it, after elections, you go into elections, you come out, there may be some kind of disagreeing or somebody saying, I want to go to court here and there. But in my case, it was treated differently. Because most of the times, when issues like this come, they give you the opportunity to exhaust the entire process.
Right.
Before your seat is declared vacant.
Right.
And there have been several examples. You can talk about our uncle, Dan Abudakwe. In his case, he was even, excuse me to say, he was jailed, but his seat was not declared vacant. He got the opportunity to go through the legal process. But at the end of the day, he was even given a presidential pardon. He came back to take his seats. Erica Amartin, you can count them, about 4, 5, 6 of them. They all got the opportunity to exhaust all the legal battles. But unfortunately, in my case, I didn't get it. And straight away, your seat was declared vacant. The Electoral Commissioner has fixed a date for your elections, which is on the 30th of December. All preparations were done. And your opponent is on the fold. The party machinery, the government machinery is on the fold. And what will you do? You also have to start preparing. So I was preparing for the elections, although it was going to be a very difficult elections for me because it was not a normal elections. you're going to run elections with the states and the party in government, and everybody will be there to support the candidates. So it was going to be a 50-50 elections. But at the end of the day, my God has spoken through the Supreme Court, and I am back. That is the good news for the people of Kwanda, because the people of Kwanda actually voted for me. Nothing went wrong, to be sincere with you. And I'm happy that the Supreme Court...
How do you respond to those who say that, but for the, procedural technicalities, your seats would have probably been declared vacant? So this win that you're celebrating, you should probably be thanking, the procedural problems that came up.
Well, like I said, I have thanked everybody. I have thanked the judges. I have thanked my God in all this, okay? But like you said, procedural matters. But in actual sense, elections are won at the polling stations. You go into elections and you win the elections at the polling stations. It is the same procedural matters that made the courts to declare my seat vacant. It is the courts. We don't vote in courts. We vote at the ground. We vote at the constituency level. We vote at the polling stations. And we had very successful election. One of the most successful elections in Pandai until this thing came up. But, Serwaa, like I said, if you want to recount what happened, you take the polling stations that they complain about, there is nothing that went wrong. Nothing. Some of them are just things that will continue to happen in elections. I don't see why you can force somebody to go and vote presidential at the same time vote for parliamentary. If I choose to vote for a presidential candidate and not vote for a parliamentary candidate, what is the crime? There's no crime in that. You are dealing with duplicate and original. You go to court, and for some reasons, the original pictures that were submitted are ignored, and somebody make his analysis on the duplicates and come out with his verdicts. All these things are things that, like I said, they are past. But I can tell you that I won the Kwandai seat. The verdict of the Kwandai people was that Matthew has been elected, and thank God today I still represent the good people of Kwandai. That's all my joy is all about. It's not about that technicalities. Yes, like I said, if it's one-on-one elections, I'm not afraid of that candidate. He's beating me in 2020 before. I have come back to also beat him in 2024 again. And I'm sure that if it was just a playing ground for us to go into that election, I would have still beaten him, because my records are far better than his records. And everything about me, the people of Kwanda accepts me more than him.
Right.
So I would have beaten him in any case. But if it is about a rerun is a different election. It's a complete different election. And anything at all could have come. And that's why his hopes were so high. The people were pushing so hard, because they know very well that it's going to be like a different election altogether, and they could change the verdict of the people. But like I said, thank God today, my God has spoken through the judges, and I'm very, very grateful to them.
Speaking of judges, I'm sure that after the judgment was given, you heard people say that, this is a working Supreme Court bench, unlike what they had seen in the past when your party was in power. This one didn't favor the party in power. How do you respond to that?
You see, those who made those calls, I'm not begrudging anybody, but they are factually inaccurate.
They are not?
They are. Atufosin won in court against the ruling government. Was that not the case? Atufosin was in court. At the end of the day.
James Jachiko.
No, it's not about. I'm just saying that those who would just put it straight away that it is just because I won and it's better than the previous. And I'm telling you that, look, if you look at one of the most thorny issues that went to court under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was Atufosin's case. He won the case, although MPP was in government. So we shouldn't paint the picture as if that this is the first time something like this has happened. Jachiko's case was also different from my case. It has to do with dual citizenship. My case was not dual citizenship. But whichever be the case, I think that the courts are the places that we all must go there with confidence. And knowing the facts and knowing the truth, I thank God that at the end of the day, I am where I am today because the Supreme Court has spoken.
Okay. We also have in the studio the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Bongo constituency, Charles Bawadua Esquire. Good morning. Before I invite you into the conversation, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent charcoal and Pepsodent herbal toothpaste is the best thing to do. Pepsodent charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride and a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Charcoal white polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. For our herbal lovers, try Pepsodent herbal toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts, formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association, and Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call their toll-free number on 0800 161 000 to talk to a dentist free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you, and you can call their customer care on toll-free 0800 200 or 2030. Forgive me, Pepsodent. Every smile matters. Okay, I don't know if you want to have a bite on his seat, even though it's past. We haven't seen him since his second victory. That's why we just brought it up.
Yes, thank you very much, Serwaa, and let me say good morning to the people of Ghana. Well, I followed keenly his case from the very beginning to the end, and let me congratulate him for his victory at the court. I have said elsewhere that the manner the victory came, dilutes its significance. And that's because the victory did not deal with the substantive issue of whether or not he actually won at the police station, the various police stations, or the allegations against him at the police stations were not true. The victory was one of a technical victory to the effect that the processes had been filed out of time and all that. And I think that, I know that in law, some of these regulations are made, for good reason, but sometimes we may have to do away with some of this technicality in order to do what I will say substantive justice. Now, the people of Kwanda cannot now say, specifically so, whether or not my colleague won at the police station or he was saved by the technicalities of the case. And that is disturbing. But all the same, like I said, I will congratulate him on his victory at the Supreme Court. Congratulations.
Yes, I accept it, but I vehemently disagree with you. To be sincere with you, you never follow the matter keenly. You follow it politically. That is how you followed it. No, you never followed it.
I read all processes.
I'm telling you that if you have read all the processes, you will be very clear in your mind that as a young politician, you will know that the verdict that came from Kwanda was absolute. There are people in Parliament today that are holding less than 100 votes and they are MPs. And I'm telling you that, look, in elections, there was no challenge at any polling stations. All the pink sheet, the 152 polling stations, everybody signed to those polling stations, except two. If you're a politician, by 10 o'clock of the day of the elections, you will know whether you've lost your seat
by
or
10 a.m.
By 10 p.m. that
right.
very day,
okay.
As a politician, you will know. And it is clear that at that time, the NDC in Bandai knew they had lost the seat. They've made calls to their region, they've made calls to the national, and everybody knew that they had lost the seats. Until the earlier concession from the vice president came, where they went to vandalize the place. There are pictures to show. I'm sure GHOne had those records, where they went there and destabilized everything.
So with respect.
So if you
I
come...
think that we are...
You let him finish. Let him finish.
Very
let
well.
him finish, yes.
Well, until they came and disorganized the collation center, they were asked to follow. All of us have to go to Tamale. They refused to go, and I followed all the proceedings in court. I was there. If you want, I'm told you are a lawyer. I will send you the proceedings that took place in court and some of the things that were said in court. In any case, if we go to court, I hold duplicates. You hold duplicates. The original pink sheets are provided by the EC. The original pink sheets are provided by the EC. And if you decide to ignore original pink sheets and deal with duplicates, anyway, just like I said, I disagree with him today. Whether it was a technical or it was whatever be the case, he should not say the people of Pandai don't know the person they voted for. They know. They know very well the person they voted for. Just the same way the people of Bongo voted for him. The same way the people of Pandai voted for me. With a margin of 3,730 something. Maybe my margin may even be bigger than his.
So, after the judgment, members of the NDC, some of them have said, you're a lawyer. I'm sure that you're part of the legal committee or whatever of the NDC. You said that you were going for a review. Do you think that it's a necessary journey to embark on? Well,
just before I comment on that, you see, we are discussing the outcome of the Supreme Court judgment. And I'm saying that judgment did not deal with the substantive issues. The judgment dealt with the technicality of whether or not the election petition was filed within or out of time.
That's right.
You understand? So I'm saying that on that basis, the Supreme Court did not deal with the case on its merits.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making.
Agreed.
So to say that I didn't read the processes, that's exactly what the Supreme Court decided. So I'm saying that on that basis, we are unable to tell from that judgment whether or not you won at the police station. And I'm saying that is the effect of the Supreme Court judgment. And that's the correct position.
No, I'm just
now,
saying
let me talk about the issue about review. I must say that I overheard some people talk about review, but I do not think that there was a need to apply for review, especially in a judgment where you have lost 4-1. A review will only add maybe 2 judges. So assuming those judges even come and decide in your favor, you will still lose anyway. So there's really no need to talk about review, and I'm sure that informed the decision not to go for a review.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. But we are happy for him because he's a friend of the show.
Exactly. That's why I'm congratulating him.
Yeah, we are truly happy for him.
I'm happy for you guys too.
Hey.
For congratulating. It's not easy for somebody to congratulate.
So yesterday, Ghana's presidency annoued that about 10 petitions that were brought for the removal of the EC chair and her 2 deputies and Ghana's special prosecutor, have been dismissed because the Chief Justice, after those petitions were forwarded to him, came out to say that he found no prima facie case against these individuals involved. And that in itself has also generated a lot of conversations and reactions on social media. Mr. Nyindam, your thoughts on it? Surprised?
Oh, it's not about being surprised or not. You see, I have a different opinion.
Okay.
And I've always advocated. And I thought that maybe when the Constitutional Review Committee started reviewing some aspect of our Constitution, they would have given some attention to some areas. Okay? Like some independent bodies in this country, where as much as possible, if we can limit political interventions in those areas, I will be a happy person. Look, it's like you are going to church. No matter how reckless you are, when you enter the church house or the chapel, you will know you've come in the presence of the Lord. You will be so humble. Everything of yours will be different. If you are going to court, you know that is the only place you can get justice. It doesn't matter whether you are MPP, you are NDC, you are what. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your wealth. When you are going to court, the best in your mind is that, look, I'm going for justice. So it shouldn't be a place where there will be too much political thinking. It shouldn't be so at all. Because politics, MPP will come, MPP will go. NDC will come, NDC will go. By the end of the day, Ghana remains Ghana. So if we can have our judicial system where there will be less political interference, I'm going to be the happiest person in this country. So if you talk about the OSP and you talk about the Electoral Commissioner, these are supposed to be independent bodies. Purely independent. And as for people liking you or people not liking you, it will continue to exist. It's a human institution. So I am happy that today we are not going to go into another matter where we have to trigger some kind of removal and everybody thinks that, look, this Electoral Commission is biased, let's get her out, bring another person who may be thinking towards or tilted towards a political party. Tomorrow another party comes, he says, no, these things don't help us. It doesn't help us. Look, the OSP was appointed under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Today, there are a lot of cases that the OSP is doing against appointees of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Tomorrow, the tables may turn. But let's look at the role of the OSP. Yes, people will criticize him. It's a human institution. He may take some decisions that may be wrong. People will criticize. But let's better it. Don't let's always think that, look, if I am in government, people who are perceived or people who are tilted towards my ideology, they are the people that I should be putting in some of these places. If we govern this country that way, we will have no country in the future. Because parties will change. And it means that if party changes, we must remove people who are heading some independent bodies. I think that, well, it is a good call that the CJ has come out that, look, all the petitions that they filed against these individuals, they have not established any case. And for that matter, they should continue their work. Like I said, I would have wished and prayed that, look, like the police, any service at all in this country, as for the military, it's a different thing. As for the forces, I think that one appointment must be done by whoever becomes the president of this country, because it's a force. So you have to have some control over it. But if you come to the police service, there should be people to grow through the ranks to become IGPs. If you go to the immigration, if you go to the prisons, this is what I am thinking. But unfortunately, when I look at some of the reviews that came from the Constitutional Review Committee, I haven't cited most of these things, which I think that is worrying for me as a young man. Because until we develop these state institutions to become truly, truly independent, we will continue to face these challenges. We will continue. Look, Electoral Commissioner, yes, they have a role to play. But I can tell you that an Electoral Commissioner can never influence the outcome of any election in this country. I think that way. That is my thought. Because if you put your teams very well, because elections are won at the polling stations, you have your agents there, you have everything controlled there. So how do you think that somebody sitting in Accra as the EC boss can influence an election in your constituency? And all aggregation of constituencies will give the regional elections. All regional aggregations will give the national elections. And we've witnessed in this country where GHOne Mensah, who is currently sitting, is that not the case? She is sitting now. She was appointed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. John Mahama won. She declared it. The lady, the previous EC lady that was removed, what is the name of that lady?
Charlotte Osei.
Charlotte Osei. She was appointed under the NDC. She declared Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the president. And then Almighty Afarijan declared MPP, declared NDC. So I think that our ECs have demonstrated competence, whichever way, and whichever government wins, they declared such elections. So let's spare ourselves this kind of not liking this person or liking this person. If we continue to build truly independent institutions, we will benefit at the end of the day. But like I said, at the end of the day, this is the verdict of the CJ, and I think that it is a call in the right direction. Let's see how event moves on.
I mean, so, you know, for people in the NPP, as you have heard Matthew Nyindam say, that, you know, you're probably feeling bad or you've lost some goodwill with the way that you removed the CJ, Justice Tokono, and so you're trying to balance the books with this one. Is that what it is?
Well, let me say that, look, first of all, it was not the NDC that removed the Chief Justice. No.
Who did?
It was the system that removed the Chief Justice. You see, we are running a constitutional government. We are running a democratic system. Now, this constitution provides for ways of removing a person such as the CJ or the Electoral Commissioner or even the Special Prosecutor. And this procedure is provided in the Constitution. And every citizen of Ghana has a right to trigger that procedure. So when a citizen exercises that right, triggers that procedure, it ought not to be seen as a certain political party that is triggering the procedure. But, of course, the outcome of that procedure sometimes will affect the entire nation or the people of Ghana for that matter. So everybody is always concerned. But I think that on this occasion, it is yet another example of the independence of the structure at play. Now, so you will see that a lot of NDC supporters, you know, felt that the Electoral Commissioner and her deputies, you know, were acting in a manner which they disagreed with, or that they believed that the Electoral Commissioner and the deputies were biased in favor of the New Patriotic Party. And so ordinarily, they were of the conviction that, you know, they have facts and some of the allegations could be proven, and that may lead to her removal and her deputies. But the procedure and the evidence that was put before the Chief Justice for determination did not prove that way. And the Chief Justice comes to the conclusion that, look, upon a thorough review of the about 7 petitions that were brought for the purpose of removing the Chief Justice, the Electoral Commissioner, deputies, and the Special Prosecutor, he did not think that a case has been made sufficient enough, you know, to allow the further continuation of that procedure, and ended it there. So I think that once again, the Chief Justice have shown that he is operating independently. So you will see that all the hullabaloo about his appointment and the allegations that he was being brought by the NDC to do the bidding of the NDC has proven to be completely wrong. You know, so clearly, a lot of NDC supporters will be disappointed by the outcome of these petitions because of the reasons I have stated. But of course, we are all bound by the decision of what the Chief Justice has decided, and we cannot resile from it. We should accept it as part of the democratic process.
But do you agree with those who say that you probably overreacted and overreached, because some leaders of your party criticized the leadership of the EC? You know, if all the things that the leadership of your party, most of them, did say about the EC were true, why are we getting this outcome?
Yeah, so it's a question of facts. You see, you may make certain, utterances, but if you don't have the facts to prove them, and especially, these are not the same persons who made the utterances who submitted petitions.
So you mean politicians just make allegations, put out
not
things
really.
that
I am saying that
are not factual, that they have nothing to prove or back it up,
I'm
and
saying
just say
that
things?
the persons who submitted the petitions are not the same persons who made those utterances. And the Chief Justice made his judgment based on the content of those petitions. Who knows? Maybe the people who made those utterances probably had the facts. But those facts did not come before the Chief Justice. And the Chief Justice was bound to guided by the content of the petitions.
There are people in your party who have facts that show that the EC and its leadership have committed wrongs against the country, but they have sat on that information. But they would rather put pieces of allegations out there to, quote unquote, tarnish their image and leave it as that?
No, you are not getting me. I am saying that there are people who made utterances believing that they have facts to deal with them. But they were not the people who submitted the petition. They are not bound to submit petition for removal.
But they are bound. Are they bound to say things?
They can make comments. They can make comments based on information they have. You see, they can make comments based on the information that they have. However, some other persons thought that, look, let us file petitions against the electoral commissioner because of blah blah blah, and now they filed, and the Chief Justice, looking through the petitions, is of the belief that, look, the evidence that have been produced in those petitions and the allegations do not meet the legal threshold. Mind you, the Chief Justice did not say that nothing happened at all. If you look at the excerpts of the Chief Justice report has been thrown out there, you see that he says that indeed there were questions regarding and lingering on constitutionality of some of the actions of the Electoral Commission. They said there were administrative issues, but in the totality of it, these issues are not sufficient enough to, trigger the next step. That is a committee to do the investigation and then make the determination whether or not the Chief Justice, the Electoral Commissioner, should be removed. And so that is it. That is a determination based on the petitions that was put before them. It doesn't mean that every other person who made an allegation, was bound by that. If anybody now still have facts, why the Chief Justice, the Electoral Commissioner should be removed, or why the Special Prosecutor should be removed, that person can still make a petition to the President.
All right, let me take a quick break. When I come back, we'll continue. So this Friday, which is tomorrow, Star 103.5 FM is shutting it down with a Fugu night out at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill. Rock your finest Fugu or anything with a touch of Fugu. Pull up with your crew and enjoy live band music, drinks, and premium nightlife vibes. This is where tradition meets the turn-up. This Friday, the Fugu Night Out, the 20th of February, starting at 7 p.m. sharp till late. Don't dull, be there. For reservations, please call 0233-233-233. Fugu Night Out at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill is a premium nightlife outing, and it is powered by Star 103.5 FM, simply the best. I'm going to be there. So see you there. Stay with me. After the break, there's more. Now, imagine walking into a home where nobody ever pauses what they're doing online. The girls are streaming the latest Netflix series. That special playlist is rolling. Daddy is on his usual Teams video calls. Uploads are uploading. Downloads are downloading. And not a single person says, my data is finished. Well, that's the power that MTN Fiber gives you. Unlimited internet access for endless streaming, endless connection, and endless everything for your home. Now, you get to enjoy a special range of unlimited fiber internet packages, whether you're a new or existing customer. Just log on to the My MTN app now and tap broadband or dial *5057# to get your preferred unlimited MTN fiber package. This Valentine's season, connect your home or a loved one's home and you stand the chance of winning amazing shopping vouchers from MTN. Remember, T's and C's apply. MTN, everywhere you go. Now, this is the final week of Gold Ball Jewelry's February Love of Deals. And it is your last chance to discover something truly special. The Gold Ball Jewelry Discovery Week offers are now live with exciting discounts on quality gold pieces you may not have seen before. If you have been waiting for the right moments, then this is it. Explore new designs, enjoy unbeatable prices, and grab your favorite gold deals before February comes to an end, only at Gold Ball Jewelry. Last chance Valentine Discovery specials, fresh finds, great discounts only at Goldbot Jewelry. Visit their website at jewelry.goldbot.gov.gh and all their social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok Jewelry, or call them on 055 152 2233 for any inquiry. If you just joined us, this is a newspaper review, and I'm here with the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Pandai constituency, Matthew Nyindam, and the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Bungo constituency, Charles Bawadua Esquire. And we've been talking about the Chief Justice's dismissal of the petitions, or the President's dismissal of the petitions brought against the EC Chair and her deputies, and also the Special Prosecutor. You're saying before the break.
Yeah, so I was making the point that, look, let us welcome this as one of the good things that has happened to our system, which is that the system comes out of a decision that many in the ruling government may not be happy with. And it is evidence of the independence of that system. And this is why we should continue to encourage our independence institutions to assert their independence, not to be intimidated by whoever appointed them or what process appointed them, and to do justice to all manner of persons. If we continue this way, this is how we get developed. You see, in other, especially Western countries, the system is no respecter of persons. It will state the position, every matter that comes of it, as it believes. And you may not be happy with it, but once that is the outcome of the decision or of a matter that is put before the system, one cannot but to obey it. So I respect the decision of the Chief Justice, having determined that no prima facie case has been made against the Electoral Commissioner and the Special Prosecutor. But of course, I know that a lot of the NDC support base is disappointed with it. But life must go on. I think that we must proceed in dealing with the issues that matter more to the people of Ghana. That is the butter and bear issues that the people are more interested in.
Okay. Mr. Nyindam, so Martin Pebu, one of the petitioners, in fact, his petition was against the Special Prosecutor. He has reacted and said that we should make the details or the contents of the petition public so Ghanaians can be the judge of the contents of the petition. Do you agree?
I don't agree. But in any case, he's entitled to his views. The petition, he wrote it. Is that not the case?
Yes.
So he has the right to put it out there. Now that the verdict is out, I think he has every right to do that. But like I said, I disagree with him. You see, there is something that we must all be struggling and forcing to cure. Like, I listened to my brother here, and it has to do with the party supporters, the party base will not be happy with this verdict. You see, we should try as much as possible to limit politicization of some of our institutions. This country is not for the MPP, it's not for the NDC, it's for Ghanaians. Everybody has the rights to occupy any position at all in this country, meritoriously. So if somebody is appointed, you may not like the person. You see, maybe today this is becoming news, we are talking about it because of maybe what happened to the CJ, just like you were asking my good friend. If you take Kufuor today and you ask him, he will tell you maybe a lot of people wrote petitions against some of these appointees. Maybe the what's the name? Afarajan talk about all his CJs and all those people. But sometimes they don't even give attention to it. If you take Nanado, the same thing will happen. I'm sure if Mills is alive today, he would have told you the same, even including His Excellency today, John Dramani Mahama. All of them will have some stories to tell. Like I said, maybe today is news because of what had just happened. So people thought that, okay, let's bring this out. Let's have a conversation about it. We all heard Martin Kwebu speaking about the OSP. And he was too sure that whatever he sent there was going to be so wonderful that he didn't even want to disclose the contents. But today, this is the verdict that has come. I think that we should all respect this verdict. But going forward, just like I said, we cannot develop this country with excessive politicization. It is not possible. It is not possible. Whether MPP or NDC, it's not going to. You can never satisfy your base because you have to remove somebody so that somebody will be happy. How? You will appoint somebody. Whichever be the case, another government will come. So he also wants to satisfy his base. He wants to make sure that his base is happy. He also get that person removed. And I come and will say, how can we develop a nation with this kind of attitude? It's not possible. And that's why I said that, look, he rightly said it is a constitutional matter. Those framers of the constitution saw the need to put this in our constitution. And it was triggered. It has been used. But let's ask ourselves, is it serving us well as we speak today? If it's not serving us well, there should be some review so that some bodies can be independent. Like the OSP. It is just a young institution created somewhere 2016 or so. That was the 7th Parliament. Yes, the 7th Parliament gave birth to it. It's a very young institution, but all others are quite old. Okay? So I think that some of those institutions must be left alone to grow on their own. If OSP, at the end of his service, retires, whoever is in government should appoint. The person should be given ample time to deal with his issues. He may take a decision that you will not be happy with. It's the same way when you take the court system, or if you take the appointment of the Chief Justice. I think that our country has grown enough for them to grow through the ranks. That is my belief. They should grow through the ranks. Whoever comes, whoever you meet is a Ghanaian. The law is the law. If they are supposed to interpret the law, which they are doing, whether you are NDC or you are MPP, you are not above the law. You are not above. The same way electoral commissioner. And I will still say that no electoral commissioner can make you the president if you don't go out there to harvest votes and win your own elections. No EC can make you the president or the MP. You must work for it. And when the results come, it will be declared. Whether the person likes it or not, the person will declare you if you are the winner. So let's take politics out of some of these institutions. If we don't, and we want to continue to do the same thing, I am in government, my people must be happy. Whatever decision I take, they must be happy. It's not going to inure to the benefit of anybody. It's not.
Mr. Baadua,
Well, so I have made the point clearly that, look, the Chief Justice has made a decision, which we respect it. I can understand the feeling of some people, especially because of the precedent that was set up upon the removal of Charlotte Osei, on issues which are not too different, substantially different from what has been put before the current Chief Justice. But you are dealing with different persons. You are dealing with different personalities. Maybe the standard or the interpretation that the Chief Justice then gave to what should be the yardstick, the standard for the removal of electoral commissioner, is completely different from this Chief Justice's perception or understanding of what the yardstick should be. And it's a right that the Chief Justice has to make that determination. And so I will urge all, Ghanaians that we must accept this position, as has been determined by the Chief Justice, and we move on as a nation. There are things which are equally very important to us as a nation. We should go ahead to deal with those things and then let this one go.
As a lawyer, do you agree with those who say Article 146 is too vague on the conditions for the removal of a Chief Justice, of an EC chair? Is it too vague?
Well, I think that the provision is not elaborative enough.
Okay.
I believe that the provision can go further and provide the details and especially the procedure of how that determination is to be made. But the way it is, there's too much discretion left in the hands of the Chief Justice and also the committee that will eventually be set up by the Chief Justice under that provision. And you are dealing with the removal or otherwise of very important, persons who are occupying significant positions in the hierarchy of our constitutional framework. And it is important that to be able to remove or otherwise of such a person, nobody should be left in doubt. And even the procedure should be so clear that the persons affected are able to clearly, be able to defend as it were their innocence or otherwise of the allegations made against. So I think now that we are doing a constitutional review, which the Constitutional Review Committee is working on, we should seize that opportunity to see whether we can elaborate more. I do not think that it is right to say that if you have been appointed Chief Justice or Electoral Commissioner, whoever, you can misbehave and get away with it. But the procedure should be so stringent and the standards should be so high such that it should not be left in doubt when you are removed that indeed there was a need for you to be removed as an Electoral Commissioner of Chief Justice. So I think we can work on that clause as well.
Mr. Nyindam, do you agree?
I do agree. I think that it should be removed. I mean, that's my
Article
view.
146?
It should totally be removed. You see,
removed
now,
and replaced with what?
I'm coming.
Okay.
We say we are talking about arms of government. Is that not the case?
No. So as
I'm coming. I'm just talking about arms of government in general.
Okay.
The president has
the
executives. When you come to Parliament, the Speaker, do you know that even in selecting the Speaker, we have to vote? That is the Constitution. Although, at the end of the day, the appointment is done, but Parliament still has the opportunity to either accept or not accept the Speaker. And at least the 8th Parliament has taught us election. Whether you were in government or you were in opposition, we had a Speaker that was from the opposition who led the 8th Parliament. Same Speaker doing same today. Now, if you look at the judicial arm of government, you talk about just the same appointment. And then the removal of such an important head is in the Constitution and must be triggered by somebody, just like he's saying. You look about how vague it is. Somebody can manipulate and at the end of the day think that I don't like this person. The person must go. One arm removing another arm. Today you cannot remove the Speaker just like the way you are going to remove the Chief Justice. You can't do that. Speaker, you can't remove, same way you can't remove President. So I think that we cannot say that we are going to elect the head of the judiciary. But I think that the person, because the kind of personals or personnel that we have, the kind of judges that we have, they should be able to grow through the ranks. And that respect should be there. That respect should be there. We should not just leave it in the hands of the executive that look, all the time, let's appoint. All the time, let's appoint. And who appoints has the right to also what? Disappoint. And I think that we've grown beyond that level. I think we've grown beyond that level. And the Electoral Commission and all those other things that he is saying, which I agree with him that, look, some of those things, the person who is suffering or the person who is going out, people should know really that, yes, my friend, you really misconducted yourself. The facts are so obvious that nobody can sympathize with you. In that regard, I accept it. But I think that for the three arms of government, we should find a way, especially the judicial arm of government, we should find a way for them to grow through the ranks and be independent and then can serve us better. That's what I believe in.
All right, let's move on and talk about an unfortunate incident. In fact, a tragedy that befell us as a country, because on 14th February, on Valentine's Day, there was an insurgent attack on Ghanaian tomato traders in the northern Burkina Faso area. Several people died, about 7. Bent beyond recognition. Some sustained various injuries. You know, we're told that Islamist militants opened fire on some of our men, burned the vehicle and bodies beyond recognition. And of an 18 trading party, like I mentioned, 7 Ghanaian men were killed. Several others were injured and about 7 women escaped harm. Burials took place in Burkina Faso because Ghanaian officials could not immediately access the site because insecurity persisted at that time. The president, John Dramani Mahama, responded. He condemned the attacks and said it was a mindless act of terror and expressed condolences to the families of the deceased and the injured. The Ghana Armed Forces as well conducted an evacuation of the injured survivors by air to the 37 military hospital in Accra. President Mahama, we know, has visited them and pledged to take care of their bills. And the government has advised that we do not circulate images of those who have been injured and even those who have passed. It's insensitive when we do that, and this isn't just to the media. It is to everyone. If you have received pictures, keep it on your phone. Nobody has sent you to circulate it or show it to other people or share it, on the media. Now, this has generated a lot of conversation. Cross-border economic network. In Parliament, the former defense minister has said that we have been encouraging Ibrahim Toure in this country. And that is probably why we saw what happened or what, befell our tomato traders. Some have said that isn't the case. Some have said that his comments quite insensitive. But before we get into the politics of it, Ms. Enyindam, do you think that government has responded well, has treated these tomato traders well, those who have been injured, even those who have lost their lives? So far?
Well, so far I would say it's okay, because for the victims, for a whole president to visit you means a lot. And I'm sure there will be some other compensations that will accompany the visits that maybe it's not public to all of us. But at least for him going there to visit and sympathize with the family and condemn attack, what else can he do? The next thing I will wish is that if we now identify the families that are involved, what can we do to assist them immediately? Those who are no more. What help can the state extend to such families? Because now that they've lost their dear ones under such circumstances, I will advocate that whatever we can also do to cushion the families, we should do. I've listened to the story, I've heard commentaries about it. It's all about we trying to provide security. People have said it is a failure of our agricultural system in Ghana. Because why will Ghanaians be going to Burkina Faso to import tomatoes all the time? In one breath, I agree. But whatever be the case, you cannot stop cross-border trade. You cannot stop it. Burkina Faso is our neighbors. They come into this country, they trade with us, they carry a lot of goods from here to Burkina Faso. Same way Ghanaians will also go to Burkina Faso and trade. What happened is an unfortunate situation, which we all must condemn the attacks. It is evil, it is bad, it is barbaric. We all must condemn it. What is the way forward? I think that as a nation, these tomato buyers or going to Burkina Faso to bring in tomatoes, it's not today. It's been there, and it will continue to be there. Initially, it was armed robber attacks. If you listen to those people, the most prevailing thing that was actually hunting them was armed robbers. They lay ambush, they attack them, they rob them of their monies. Today, it has generated to terrorist attack. What I wish and pray is that we must provide adequate security. That is what we should be doing. Because, excuse me to say, we have a very good Ghana Armed Force that are there. We've never gone to war for so many years now. We should try to deploy some of these people into action. We should move them to various strategic places. I haven't been to Burkina Faso by land. Maybe my brother who is closer to those areas might have traveled on land to Burkina Faso. I cannot tell the distance. But there are hotspots that we must identify as a nation and strategically position our security forces to provide adequate security for these individuals. Now, in Burkina Faso itself, what will be the relationship? What will be the friendship? What proper partnership will come between our military and their military to properly provide security in their zone? Because I'm sure this attack might have taken place maybe in their zone. I don't know the exact place that this attack took place. If it is in Burkina Faso, how proper can we get in touch with them to provide adequate security in those areas? Because we cannot carry our military to Burkina Faso to stay there. I don't know much about that. To do the provide security or the policing there. That there must be proper negotiations between our president and the Burkina, what is the name, sir? He's called Traore. He's been a friend to this country.
Right.
Okay? He's been a friend. Although there is that comment from the former defense minister. There are a lot of people who are celebrating him in this country, which I have a different view. Because what is bad is bad. We all know that his assuming office through the coup d'etat is bad. It is highly undemocratic. But a lot of people are hailing him in this country. Maybe at the back of that some of these comments are coming. But I think that since he has a very good relationship with us, how can we leverage on that and make sure that our tomato traders are given adequate security in this country? In as much as we want to encourage homegrown, provide a lot of, grow some of this our tomato, look at it, and whatever be the case, Ghanaians will still travel to Burkina Faso to trade. So that is not a solution to what has happened. What has happened is just one. Some others may go to Burkina Faso not for tomatoes. They may go for other things. And these same attacks might happen. So security is what I think that we should tighten our securities along that stretch and make sure that our citizens are safe to trade. The same way they come in and they are safe. Because the Burkinabés who come into this country, some are free, some are even more Ghanaian than the Ghanaians themselves. They get opportunity to do so many things. And we give them security. So we expect them to reciprocate. Give us that kind of gesture. And if we all live like brothers, it will help us. These are artificial boundaries. We are all the same people. But these artificial boundaries, if we decide to act the way they are acting, it will be very difficult for them to also enjoy the Ghana that they always come to enjoy. So that's my little bite on that for now.
Were there prior intelligence warning along that routes that you heard of as members of parliament?
Well, I am not sure that there was any such one. But if you have followed the news over the years, ever since this jihadist status, not just in Tuareg's time or Daniba's time, even during the time of Blaise Compaoré, it's been clear that northern Burkina Faso and the entire Sahelian belt, Mali, Niger, it's not safe at all because the jihadis are very determined to take over that belt of the continent and to establish what they call an Islamic state. So for many years now, it's been clear that that belt is not safe for travelers at all. And let me be very clear that, look, our people were not attacked because they are Ghanaians. No. They were attacked because the jihadis are anti the existing system. That is because the state, the Burkina state now, is not an Islamic state. The Nigerian state is not an Islamic state, and so is the Malian state. And they want an Islamic state. So anybody they meet, whether you are a Ghanaian, you are a Burkinabe, or whoever, they will attack you because their objective is to establish an Islamic state. So you will see that the Burkinabes themselves have been struggling with the security of the situation. And Ibrahim Traoré, used this as one of the reasons why he overthrew Daniba from government, that he was not doing enough to fight the jihadis. And that was one of the reasons why he said he stayed in school. But clearly also he's also suffering. But what's important is that I think that we must
You say that they were not attacked because they were Ghanaians.
Yes.
But, the former defense minister made a statement, and, he said, and I'd like to quote him, that why now? He said, why are they attacking Ghanaians now? When in earlier years they let Ghanaians pass.
No. It can't be so. You see, it depends on where you are. Any point beyond Ouagadougou is dangerous. It doesn't matter who you are. You cannot say that because I'm a Ghanaian, I'll be allowed to pass through the jihadist control area. It is not just possible. So the attack was not because they are Ghanaians, but because they do not buy into. They are not part of the Islamists. Anybody who is not part of the Islamists and you are in that area, you are not safe at all. So I think that, look, we need to warn our traders, those who travel that far, that there are limits to which you can go.
So shouldn't we have issued any travel advisory to persons who are embarking on that route?
Definitely,
Do you
I think
agree
it's
that
important.
we should have done that?
I think it's important.
Right.
And it's important that that is done, and so that we know which are the areas which are safe to travel. I do not think that we can stop people from cross-border trade. My constituency share border with Burkina Faso, and sometimes even when I'm campaigning, before I know I'm in Burkina Faso, because you can hardly tell what the boundary is. And it is every day in our traders go into Burkina Faso market, they also come to our market, so we can't stop it. But we must guide our citizens as to how far they can go or where they cannot go, so as to guide them. It's unfortunate that this has happened, and I must extend my condolences to the families, people who wanted to earn their daily bread, just trading to make money to live, and this has befallen them. I think that moving forward, we should look at ways of providing some of the things that Burkina have, that their agriculture is so good, is so productive, that Ghanaians have to go to Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes, to buy onions, to buy watermelon. I live around the border, and day in, day out, these are the things that come in. Burkina Faso is drier. It is hotter. So how is it that Burkina Faso is able to get the water, the systems, the irrigation systems for the farmers to have this bumper produce such that they can, enjoy themselves and even now export to Ghana, and Ghanaians have to go there. So we have a vast land in northern Ghana. Look, all we need to do is to get into action, put in place the irrigation dams, train the farmers, and provide the necessary seedlings I have been told that the seedlings that the Ghanaian farmers use, do not produce the tomato, the taste that the Ghanaian consumers want. And it's one of the reasons why they go to Burkina Faso and bring the Burkina Faso, products. So let's look at it and provide the farmers with the necessary seedling. In the past, we have decided to make policies regarding and targeted at agriculture, especially in northern Ghana. But it's been lip service. The Tono irrigation dam is there. The Via Dam is virtually now collapsing. And recently, I was called to say that World Bank had come there to go through and look at and provide money. I went and took part in the ceremony. As at now, nothing has happened. And when you approach them, they say that an agreement that should come to Parliament has not come. These are some of the things. Because if that is functioning and the farmers are producing, there is no way they will go to Burkina Faso, which is more dangerous, and leave tomato produce in Ghana. They probably will be traveling to Boga, to Palugu, to other areas and bring tomato. And that brings me to the Palugu Dam. We said that we were building a dam for electricity and agriculture. If that were done, that will also provide farmers the facility to produce these crops that the Ghanaian populace want. We have a tomato factory in Palugu. It is not functioning because no tomato is being produced. So we have these laudable ideas, and yet we find it very difficult to implement them. How are the Burkinabés able to implement, even in the light of insecurity, in the light of jihadist attacks day in, day out, they are able to do all these things? I think as a country we can do more, and this attack must be a lesson to us that will urge us all to actually change and do the things that we say we want to do for our farmers. Why would we be going to Burkina Faso just for tomatoes? So on this note, my condolences to the affected families. I want to thank the president for the effort he made in going to meet and promising to take over the bills of the affected person. But I think that it must also go beyond that and to find some compensation for the affected families and then the affected persons as well. And in the long run, find a solution that will dissuade people from going to Burkina Faso to buy things that we can easily produce in Ghana at a cheaper cost.
Okay. I don't know if you want to add something quickly.
I agree with him on that last note. Things that we can easily.
Right.
Okay. But my take a little on this is why he said that this is not the first time. And I don't know whether they've decided to exploit new places for this attack, because this has been years. Going to Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes, it's been years. The traders have been going.
It's not new.
It's not new. But I'm not too sure whether they went to they decided to discover new places to go in and take some adventure
they went
or something
beyond Ouagadougou. Northern part of Burkina Faso.
So you're saying where they usually
maybe they have gone. If they have gone beyond that,
because then, like the former defense minister asked, why are they now being attacked?
They are going beyond to the dangerous area.
Yes,
right.
Which
and
also
when you
means
do that, it's more dangerous. Last week I was in Boga. They brought Burkina Faso tomato and parked in front of the SC station. Even this week they are moving. But when you go to dangerous areas, so let's find a way of letting the travelers know these areas are dangerous, that area are no-go areas, so as to guide them to limit their movement. Otherwise, the insurgents, they have no mercy on anybody. They meet you, and all they want to do is destroy you.
Yes,
and that is very, very unfortunate.
I want to make a clear call to the ambassador, because he will best help us in this conversation and try to let the traders know the dangerous areas that they are not supposed to dare into. Because I am here, you are here, we wouldn't know much about the area. You are very close to the place, and you are better informed than I am. But he who stays with them there should be able to come out quickly and give some of this. Like Serwaa asked, did we pick any signal? Did we pick any signal? Did the ambassador pick any signal that our citizens are now going beyond certain limitations or certain jurisdictions? All this, and if they help us, at least it will give some kind of information to the traders, and they will be very careful. Whoever wants to travel will know his limits. Other than that, why the attacks now? And these men, just like you have said, yes, there is that route. They committing from Ghana to Burkina Faso. I'm sure it's a known route. And these tomato buyers, those jihadists, they also know this activities. It's not today. They are not from the sky. They are there. They know this kind of a transaction that goes on between Ghana and Burkina Faso. So these are early days, but I will want to first of all call on the ambassador to give us some kind of directives, because these activities is not going to stop today. Even though this attack has taken place, I can tell you, if you go to your place today, you see cars still going there to buy tomatoes into this country. So it's not going to stop. So the better we get better information, the better for all of us.
All right, let's move on. Finally, COCOBOT, then we can wrap up. So COCOBOT's executive management has agreed to a 20% pay cut, while senior staff will take a 10% salary reduction for the remainder of the 2025-2026 cocoa crop year. Now, the decision was formalized in a press release dated 16th February 2026 as part of internal cost-cutting measures in response to deepening liquidity challenges in the cocoa sector. They say that these deductions or reductions are intended to help align operational expenditure with reduced revenue flows and assist debt obligations in the cocoa value chain. COCOBOT's head of public affairs said that these cuts could generate approximately 5 million Ghana cedis in monthly savings. It's been met with a lot of criticism, but I'm going to start with you. This salary cuts, is this genuine burden sharing or public relations?
Well, I think that it is clear that COCOBOT is in a financial trouble.
That wasn't my question.
No doubt. I'm getting to your question.
Okay.
I want to lay the foundation before I get there. So clearly, management has to restructure to be able to get the company running and eventually back on its feet. And one of his options is salary cuts. I think that the idea is good to reduce the salaries of workers, especially management and senior staff workers, so that they can save some money, to be able to come out of their financial. What I disagree, and I am a trade unionist, and I will always fight to protect the rights of workers. What I disagree is the manner in which it was done. It will appear that the management just came out and issued a press statement without negotiating with the affected unions. And yesterday, GHOne, the General Agricultural Workers Union, and the Industrial Commercial Workers, UICU, were protesting to the effect that they were not consulted. We should know that salaries form part of the conditions of workers, and you cannot alter the conditions of workers without negotiation. And so I think management should have, given the justification that they have given, and which I agree are justifiable grounds, engage the unions. Look, these are the facts before us. These are the statistics, the figures that we have. If we do not take these steps, it may lead to two things. One, the company collapsing, or two, we may have to send workers home. And I am sure that no union wants its workers to go home. So that if you have to take that step in order to protect the employment of workers, so that they can work at a reduced salary, why not? I'm sure the union would have agreed to it, but unilaterally decided that, look, we are reducing workers' salaries by 10% and 20% respectively. I do not think it's the right thing to go. So I think they are acting in good faith, but their procedure may not be the way to go. I think they should engage the unions and then have a roundtable discussion to resolve this matter. Whatever it is, the key thing is that COCOBOT must survive as a state institution. But
if the projected savings, as we're told, will generate about 5 million cedis monthly, will it be significant looking at how much is involved?
It may not be significant, but it will be one of the areas of cut. There will be other areas they are cutting. For example, they have cut the producer price. That's another contentious area. So they are cutting several areas. You cannot be seen to be cutting producer price. The farmers are affected, and you maintain your salaries.
Right.
Then you are not doing, a fair distribution of the losses that will come to people operating in the cocoa sector because of the situation that we have found ourselves at the world market price and all that. So I think yes, but that will add up to some other cuts that the company will do to be able to resolve the financial crisis that it finds itself now.
Mr. Nyindam, the MPP says the cuts is cosmetic.
It is. It is. You see?
So what alternative costing measures would you recommend?
You know something?
Tell me.
Something?
No.
They've just messed the farmers up. And they are finding all ways to let farmers think that they are doing something. They are not doing anything, my dear sister. Nothing. You have disappointed farmers. You went and told the people, when we come, we're going to do A, B, C, D. Your cocoa farmer is going to be the happiest person. Today, the cocoa farmer is so sad. I like the way my friend started. That he said, you say you're a trade what?
Unionist.
I like that. And they should have discussed even the cuts with the people. But you think unilaterally, you just go to emergency cabinet, and then you say, look, a farmer who projected that he's going to sell his beans for 3,600 plus. You come out and say, look, I have cut down your 3,600 to 2,500 and something. What consultation have you done? The man that you promised that you were going to make sure his life is better, all of a sudden you just came, boom, I have cut down your earnings by this margin. You are not thinking about the man. In any case, this debate they've been talking about cocoa board is in a mess, cocoa board is in a mess. When have you realized that? You sat down and projected. You did your projection. Nobody asked you to project. You did it. You looked at the future, you look at what you are earning, and then you came out with the average that this is how much you are going to pay for the crop season. You did your projections. When have they realized that the salaries they are taking, they have to cut it? Just because farmers are crying, they decided to come out with it that we are cutting our salaries. How much is the CEO earning? And if he cuts, how much is he going to earn? Sweetie, are you aware? Are you aware of that?
No.
Yes, but today I know that they have cut from 3,000 to 2,000. 3,600 to 2,500. So if you are saying you are cutting your salary, how much are you earning? And what cut are you coming with? And what will be your new salary? They are just deceiving us. Their cocoa farmer wants his money. This 5 million they say they are going to generate. They are generating that 5 million for the farmer? Sweetie, are they generating that 5 million and going back there to distribute to the farmer? Is that what they are going to do? You see, they should just be honest and find money to go and pay the poor cocoa farmer. That's what we are calling for. Because this is not the first time world market has come down. This is not the first time. It's been so sometimes. Between 2017 and 2018, the world market price came down in this country. Farmers have to be paid because it is a projection. It is a guaranteed price, minimum guaranteed price that you've given to the farmer. So the farmer has projected that this crop season, this is the amount of money I am going to get. People have gone to borrow monies. Even buyers have gone to borrow monies. And all of a sudden, you just decided, look, let me cut this. Over 1,000 Ghana cedi per bag. My dear sister, the farmers are dying. This their cosmetic salary cuts is not going to solve any problem. They should take their money and go and look for money to pay the poor cocoa farmer. That's the advice we have for them. This 10% or 20% is not going to solve any problem. No problem is not going to solve any problem. Not at all. You must go and look for the money.
Unfortunately, we have to go. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the show.
You will not give me the opportunity to.
But you have said they want to.
I can give you a minute. I have to go, but I can give you a minute.
Unless you have the money
I think that. Thank you for the minute.
I
think that my colleague is doing politics as well.
So you see.
It is clear that there is a crisis at the international market for cocoa producing countries. Even yesterday, Reuters reported that Cote d'Ivoire, our neighbors, are also considering reducing the producer price. So it is not only a Ghanaian issue. You cannot buy from the farmer 200 cities and go and sell at 100 cities and expect to survive.
Who told
and
you that?
so we must take those drastic decisions to be able to maintain the system, to maintain the company, and to stop it from collapsing. And you have not, nobody knows your salary. Why do you want to know salaries?
I've not cut my salary.
Why do you want to know salaries of workers?
If I want to propaganda say I'm cutting my salary, I should give them the original salary. And then let them know the current one.
The management of Cocoa Board are not only the people affected. You have ordinary workers, and that is why the union is complaining. You are saying that ordinary workers, they should tell what their salaries are.
My brother, you are telling you are telling us that. Listen.
There's the executives and then there's the ordinary workers. So he's probably asking for the executives.
The executive is saying that. Looking at the current circumstances we find ourselves, we are going for a 20% cut.
Right.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
So what is your original salary? And what is the new salary?
So that's your problem.
Because
that you don't
now
know
I know that 3,600 is the old price for the cocoa farmer. Now he's earning 2,500. That is the cut you have brought. Now your cut, how much is the cut? How much are you earning? How much are you cutting?
And I'm saying that you are dealing with individual people.
Thank you so much. You're wondering
with it.
Honorable Member of Parliament for Bongo constituency, Charles Bawadua Esquire, and the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Pandai constituency, Mr. Matthew Nyindam. Stay with me. After the break, stay with us. Joshua Kodjo Mensah will come back with some conversations.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us here on GH Today here on GH1 Television. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah, and we're moving into the next level of conversations for this morning. I'm particularly excited about this one because we've got our friends from a different part of the world joining us here in the studio to talk about a very important conference that is upcoming. It's a global conference. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard about the Pan-African Leadership Institute and the work that you're doing in terms of raising the next level of leaders, not just for the sub-region, but globally as well, making sure that the mindset and then all that is needed to be instilled in this, in that generation is basically seeing the light of day. Well, let's get into the conversation. Let's find out exactly why they are in town and then matters arising. And we have been fortunate to be joined in this morning in studio by Mrs. Cordell Williams-Graham. She is founder and CEO of Transformational Life Solutions, and she's here with Mark Sandy, who is manager, trade and business development at the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing very well.
We're good.
Right. It's nice to know that this is your first time in Africa. Let me start with you, Mark. How's the feeling?
It's good. It feels a lot like home. There are a lot of similarities in terms of the people. The warmth of the people in Ghana is very similar to Trinidad and Jamaica. And also in terms of the food. There are a lot of similarities in that respect as well.
Right.
So
what have you tried?
I've had the jollof,
okay,
which is similar to the rice that we have in Trinidad. I also had a bit of the jerk chicken, which is commonplace in Trinidad and in Jamaica. It was a little bit on the spicy side, but I enjoyed it as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice,
and
nice.
Then just geographically as well as the climate is very familiar as well.
So a lot of similarities.
Yeah, a lot of similarities.
Interesting.
There's some differences as well, but more similarities, I would say.
Okay, and how are you, Cordell?
I feel much the same. I was driving through the streets this morning and said, this looks like home, like Kingston, right? And, just the warmth, as Mark said, of the people, how we embrace each other and treat each other with love and respect. I really admire that in the Ghanaian people, and I see the similarities with us back home. We're very much the same.
Right.
Yes.
And what about food? Have you tried anything?
Well, I did the same.
You did jollof?
Yes, jollof, and I had the jerk chicken. And I wasn't afraid of the pepper like Mark. I mean, I thought the pepper was like fresh, mild. To be honest, mild. That's the right word. Because we put pepper in everything in Jamaica.
So do
really
we, but
good.
I think my tolerance might have been a little bit less.
A little bit.
But it was enjoyable all the same.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But let me start with you, Cordell. I mean, what brings you to town?
Well, I'm here. I'm one of the ambassadors for the Pan-African Leadership Institute. Actually, I was the first Caribbean ambassador.
Wow.
So I'm here I'm a speaker on the conference, the global conference that you mentioned earlier. And, just to represent the Caribbean, I remember when Dr. Kofi and I were having a conversation, I think it was in 2020, about what, the Pan-African Leadership Institute was doing. It was the very same day, actually, when our Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, the most honorable Andrew Holness, was meeting with African leaders from across the world. And I thought it was so, pivotal and divine in essence for us to be having a similar conversation. And so, the unification of Africa right across the world, especially in the Caribbean, is really why I'm here, to represent the culture of the Caribbean and definitely to carry on the legacy that we have started over the past couple of years.
Interesting.
Yes.
And I know, Mark, you're also here for the same reason. But then what's the significance then of such a conference and the fact that, Accra is hosting it?
Yeah, I think we are at a time where the opportunities for trade and investment is very key. And just to add to what Cordell said, there is a real opportunity that we need to take advantage of in terms of what Africa is trying to do as it relates to spreading its wings in the Caribbean. Yeah, there's a lot that has been happening in the Caribbean space, particularly the work and the presence of the Afri-Exim Bank, which has operations in Barbados. And also, I would mention that there is a strong presence of Trinidad and Tobago with our Republic Bank, which has operations in Ghana, and we also have some businesses from Trinidad and Tobago, and I imagine from Jamaica as well, that operate in the space.
Yeah.
So I think the time is right now for us to expand that. So I think the conference is really the confluence of entrepreneurs, academics, business leaders, government officials coming together to speak about how we can unify not just within the African region, but the African region and the Caribbean coming together to forge and foster new bilateral ties and also strengthen diplomatic links that we have had for many years. And we speak also about the similarities of our culture. That is something that is so important in terms of opening the doors of opportunity for trade, because first, before you get into business, you have to understand the culture. And I think this trip certainly has started that for me and for both of us, but also the conference is going to just expand on that as well. Yeah.
Now, Kodjo, it's quite interesting because I realized that in the last couple of years, at least the last decade, one of the things that governments in Africa have been trying to do is to get the attention of Africans in the diaspora. So there's a lot of bridge building here and there. For instance, here in Ghana, we've had the year of return, and so in December, for instance, we receive a lot of people who come back to Ghana, try to trace their roots and all of that. But in terms of the bridge building efforts, where are we and how can we enhance that?
Right, and I think that's a very important question and role of the Pan-African Leadership Institute, to be honest, because it's really bringing people together. And in particular, as you said, the African diaspora, wherever we are, and we are widely dispersed across the world, bringing us together so that we can really share, as Mark said, the culture, share what we have learned on the either side of where we sit in the diaspora. Also, of course, bringing us together so that we can share opportunities, build partnerships, and also definitely the learning and the leadership skill sets that can really help to advance our communities and our homes. And so where we are, we're certainly not where we eventually intend to be, but there's a lot of work being done by the Pan-African Leadership Institute in advancing this work, and we are really making some headway in that regard. Because even now there is established a joint partnership with the University of the West Indies, between the Pan-African Leadership Institute and the University of the West Indies, to address all of the matters I just mentioned in terms of the learning, the skills, the opportunity sharing, right? And of course, as Mark mentioned, the diplomatic relations and the political exchanges that we can definitely have. And we're making some headway there. Yes.
And with Mark, because I know you deal with the Chamber of Commerce and all of that, you deal with businesses, you get to understand how businesses are operating. You have mentioned that, well, there are businesses from Trinidad and Tobago who have footprints here in Ghana. But then how do we foster this relationship in terms of entrepreneurship, making businesses cross borders to be able to, realize the full potential?
Yeah, the conversation has been happening around strengthening those links. So I think we need to expand those conversations, and that's a huge part of what the conference is all about. Okay. So there will be leaders coming from different parts of Africa, from the US, and from different parts of the Caribbean. And both of us are going to be a part of that conversation. But I do think the conversation needs to center around how we strengthen those existing diplomatic links. Because at the end of the day, diplomacy is a huge starting point for a lot of what we're trying to do. And it's not just about being able to expand the business, but it's also about being able to take full advantage of the histories that we have in common. Right. Yeah, and I think once we understand the strength of our shared history, it is going to open the doors for us to move stronger in the direction of everything that we're trying to accomplish in terms of trade, investment, and strengthening our individual jurisdictions, so that together we will have, the sum of the whole is going to be greater than the individual parts, as it were.
I'd like to add to what Mark is saying. As he said, the work continues. But I myself also lead a business association back in Jamaica, which is the Young Entrepreneurs Association.
Right.
And how we started out with the Pan-African Leadership Institute is scholarships.
Okay.
Scholarships being afforded to persons in Jamaica to participate in some of the courses that the Pan-African Leadership Institute does. So like Women in Leadership, the Entrepreneurship Leadership Development courses. And in doing that, we would have received knowledge of how, Africans in this side of the world, right, handle businesses and the principles and the values that we can now infuse to make our businesses better and to enlarge and scale our businesses. So the work is actually ongoing, and the exchanges have begun. And so, as Mark said, the work definitely continues and the conversations continue.
I think Kodjo touched on something that is so important in terms of values.
Right.
And one of the principles that is enshrined in Pali's philosophy is that of Ubuntu, and which basically states, I am because you are.
Yes.
And so understanding the importance of service, understanding the importance of ensuring that we are our brother's keeper, is something that really serves as the bedrock for everything that we would like to accomplish. All that we want to foster bilaterally is built on a set of values and principles that we share in common and that are universal. Yes.
But how different is doing business here from the other parts?
We're still learning. So at this stage, it's a bit of a difficult question to answer. Yeah, because we're still getting a bit of an initiation into the culture and the business. At the face of it, I do see some similarities.
Okay.
Just the way we engage, the way we interact, it's so very familiar and comfortable. Yeah, it's not as though you have to go through a lot of hoops or a lot of hurdles to be able to have a business conversation. Yeah, but what I do understand is that if you are a Caribbean person seeking to do business in Ghana, you need to have a presence in the market.
Okay.
You need to be here, you need to be engaging, you need to have conversations with other business persons, identifying distributors, speaking with government officials, understanding the lay of the land, understanding the regulations. So that is something that I do understand, and I would say that we share that in common. You would need to come to the Caribbean to understand the cultural aspects of business as well. Right. Yes, so there is that.
Quite interesting.
Yes, I quite agree. And I think that's the strength of the Pan-African Leadership Institute connection, because maybe you don't have the wherewithal in some cases to be on the ground, but I strongly believe that the partnerships that we can foster and forge through our network, through our family, Pan-African Leadership, that's what I feel is very similar. We are more similar than we are different. There's a familiar focus on family and partnership that really helps to move your business ahead.
Right.
And I think that's the strength that this network builds, and everybody in Ghana should really be a part of this network.
of this network.
We are from the Caribbean, and we are very excited to be a part of it.
It's exciting to hear you espouse all of these. It just gives me an idea of what to expect at the conference. So when is it happening and where is it happening?
Right.
So it's taking place on Saturday, Saturday the 21st of February, at the Institute for Statistical, Social and Economic Research at the university. The
University of Ghana campus.
University of Ghana campus,
right.
yes. Right. The starting time of the conference is 8:30. It runs until midday, 12.
Okay.
And then there's a graduation component starting at 1 p.m. until 4:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who can be a part of this, and how do they get to be a part of it?
Well, I'm not sure that it's still open. There, anything is possible, right? But leaders, innovators, change makers, people in business, it's for you. And anybody who just wants to up-level, upskill, and take their lives and their businesses to the next level, you should be a part of it.
Interesting.
But the Pan-African Leadership Institute's website, you
Yes,
can
how can
visit
people
it.
get to follow you, get to know more about your activities as well?
Yeah, I'll have to refer to my notes on this one. Yeah. So the website is panafricanleadership.institute, and the contact number for the Pali is 055 35 38780.
Right.
That's 055 35 38780.
Okay. So, Cordell and Mark, I'll take your final words as we wrap up the conversation. Let me start with you, Cordell.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. First time in Africa. It's a phenomenal experience.
Well, you've come through the gateway to Africa, so.
Yes. I'm wearing a product of Africa.
Okay.
Your own, very, very own HR. This is her brand and her line. So I'm very excited, feel very at home with the people, and really looking forward to enjoying the experience and taking back Africa to the Caribbean.
To the Caribbean. All right. Mark?
Yeah, well said, Cordell. I'll start by saying Ubuntu. I am because you are. And so just the ability to share in that experience of the experience of the life and the people and the warmth and the richness of Ghana is something that I will take back with me. And I hope that you and everyone else here would have the opportunity to experience the richness and the diversity of Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and the rest of the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
So our doors are open. We look forward to giving the opportunity for all of those who will be a part of the conference to meet and engage us in the Caribbean, set up meetings, establish links, make connections with the Caribbean, and we are ready and open for business.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So happy to be here and looking forward to the rest of this experience.
Great.
Yes.
Mark, thank you so much for coming. Cordell, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having
So
us,
it's happening on Saturday at the ESA conference room at the University of Ghana at 8 a.m. on the dot. Make sure you're there to get to be a part of it. And then at 1 p.m. there's the graduation as well. The award ceremony also follows soon. So once we're talking about our cultural heritage, remember on the 20th, which is this Friday, we are all gathering at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill for the Fugu Night Out. Now Fugu is extremely fashionable. So make sure you're coming with the boys and the girls clad in your Fugu or any attire that has a touch of Fugu in it, so that you can just get to network, get to be with people, get to have an amazing night at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill. Remember to call 0233-233-233, 0233-233-233 to also make your reservations. It is powered by Star 103.5 FM. Now, all your favorite presenters from GHOne TV, Star FM, Ago TV, Kasapa FM, we are all coming, even from EIB Digital, we are all coming there on a Friday night to have a wonderful time, celebrate the cultural heritage that we have, and also own our Fugu. It's not a blouse, it is Fugu. We'll be right back. For staying on with us. This is GH today on GHOne television. Our next conversation, I am extremely excited about it because listen, I've been telling you guys on the show that anytime you want to get beverages, even for Valentine's Day, those of you who didn't use the hot chocolate, you see that your love is somewhere now. Well, let's talk about it. Legacy Life Choice International. In fact, they are in the building today so that it will not be like Kodjo Mensah is the one always telling you about the hot chocolate, about the reishi extract, about the lion's mane, about the coffee that has 12 ingredients, Charlie. It just did bust my brain. Guess what? We have the Oga Kwata Kwata of Legacy Life here. He's here with the CEO. We'll be getting into the conversation and telling you more. So let me quickly introduce them. Divine Komla Jakpa. He is Chief Executive Officer of Legacy Life Choice International. And he's here with Josiah Ntua Mensah Jr., Country Manager and Chief Operations Officer. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you very much.
And now thank you so much, Divine, for this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, Charlie, the GTV admin, he's getting some. I don't like it. We'll have to compete over the coffee
it's
now.
True, it's true.
But if I talk to me about Legacy Life Choice International.
Yeah, so Legacy Life Choice International is a company we started in 2023 after I've been into sales for the past 13 years.
Wow.
And then we started as a beverage company, providing healthy beverages for people for good health. You know, two most important problem or challenges people face in this world is health problem and financial problem. Now you need to be in good health to be able to tackle the financial one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we decided to go into pure organic products, and then that is what we are doing currently. Yeah.
And why organic products?
Yeah, we decided to go organic because today people are conscious of the kind of things they put into their system. You know, they said there is a relationship between your kitchen and your cemetery. The way you behave in your kitchen will determine how quick or how rapid you go to the cemetery. So today you go, everybody is very, very concerned about the kind of ingredient they use to produce their food, and we think that the organic is the best.
Right.
You know, that is what our forefathers use, and they live for long, you know. Yeah, so all our products are organic, no chemical added. Yeah.
Interesting. Josiah, run me through the products because I've been telling them, it looks like they don't believe me. So now hearing from you.
Okay, so we have our flagship product, that is a Legacy Coffee, which is selling on the markets. So Legacy Coffee is a decaffeinated coffee where it contains about 12 ingredients which are natural and healthy to the system. We have the Arabica coffee, the Ganoderma lucidium mushroom, we have noni, we have chaga, we have cordyceps, we have cinnamon, we have turmeric, we have ginger.
All in one coffee.
All in one coffee.
So,
and you see these ingredients are more healthy to the human system and improve the general well-being of the system. So that is a Legacy Coffee. We have the next product is Rashid Extra Powder. So Rashid Extra Powder is our sugar-free tea. So it's good for sleep and stress.
Charlie, I'm an ambassador for that.
Thank you. I'm happy for what you said this morning.
Yeah,
and in fact, it doesn't contain any antidepressant. It's just the Ganoderma lucidium mushroom, which is the main ingredient in this Rashid Extra Powder, and it's good for sleep. You can take it before bedtime.
Yeah.
It doesn't induce sleep. It just gives you a quality sleep.
Yeah.
So that is the Rashid Extra Powder, and we have our Lion's Mane Extra Powder, which is also a tea for mental alertness.
Yeah.
So we recommend for even children with a growing school age where they are struggling with studies. We recommend Rashid Extra, Lion's Mane Extra Powder for them. It's also known to also improve general function of the nerves.
Right.
Yes, so people with numbness, we have even people suffering from diabetes, they have some tingling. We can recommend these products for them. And it's so good for the human system. As I said, it's all organic. As the CEO said, it's organic product. And we have our hot chocolate drink. So it's just chocolate plus a Ganoderma lucidium mushroom, which is also very good
for the human system. You know the importance of chocolate.
Yeah.
So with your hot water, you are good to go, as you are doing this morning.
It's here. It's here. I mean.
Yes. And the other product also is the Divine Choice toothpaste, which is fluoride-free toothpaste. Yes, so we have it on the market.
Toothpaste without fluoride.
Toothpaste without fluoride.
Organic toothpaste.
Yes, you see, we are promoting organic and general wellness. So we need products that are not highly chemical, which is friendly to the human system. So our toothpaste doesn't contain fluoride. And any tooth decay sensitive teeth, you recommend that. And it's doing so well on the market. So these are,
and very soon it will be a household name. If you live in a house and you don't have the Divine Choice toothpaste, then your house is you are collapsing the house.
Exactly.
But one thing that I'm very curious about, the mushroom base in the products. Divine, why?
So in search of quality products for the African market, I made a trip to China, where I met a professor called Professor Lin Jianxi, who is the head of an institution called the Fujian Academy of Zhangkao Science and Technology. He, in the year 2000, developed a technology. They use a particular plant called the Zhangkao plant to plant these medicinal mushrooms. So in the year 2000, he was awarded by the then governor of their state, who is currently the Chinese president.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah. So if you Google his name, Professor Li Jianxi, you even see him addressing the UN, talking about the introduction of Zhangkao technology to the world. So he has been awarded by the Chinese government. So I met him personally, where we had a lot of discussion on how we can use this product to help human health in Africa. So there's a lot of research that has gone into it, and then it's doing very, 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 very well. So the mushrooms are used to produce different kind of supplements.
Organic mushrooms.
Organic mushrooms, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how come it runs in the products that we see here.
Yes.
Simply to boost the health of the people, make sure that you're living healthy and eating and drinking really healthy things. Because today, a lot of beverages people are resorting to because they want the quick fixes and go. And it's actually affecting the health of the people.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. But how do people get these products here?
Okay. So currently, we are in all the origin pharmacies across the nation, and also you can get us in all the mall pharmacies in Accra Mall, ANC Mall, Junction Mall, and also Westels Mall, and some of the other leading pharmacies. And also, if you want us to buy in bulk,
because there are people who want to be wholesalers and to distribute the products for you.
So we are still looking for distributors across the nation. So they can call us on 055 072 5606 055 072 5606. They can call, and then we can link them up to become our major distributors. And also, we are in other African countries. So
it's not just Ghana?
No. Currently, we have office in Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, South Africa, Nigeria, and other places. So if you want our product, you can get in touch with us, and then we can help you to become our major distributor.
Right.
Yeah.
And for Josiah, for people who are contemplating whether or not they should become distributors, why should they become distributors of these great products?
Okay, so we know that our Ghanaian markets are price sensitive, especially to products that are into the system for a new. So in Legacy Life Choice, we've tried as much as possible to give a very good range where they can also have some markup or profit margins. So with the distributors, we have some lines of prices that we share with them, so that there will be a win-win situation. So as he said, we have those products in origin pharmacies across the nation. We give them as best price as it could, because we know that at the end of the day, the product ends it in the pocket of the general Ghanaians, which is a patient who needs these products. So we also need to make everyone, in fact, our target is we are looking about at least 5% of the population of Ghana consuming our product. So with that, we need to come to give the best price that we could. So we are working on it.
It's not just about great products, but it's also good pricing and good market for people who take up the business easily.
Exactly.
And they also need to call the numbers. The numbers are, we have some of the numbers on the screens. So just pick any of the numbers on the screens, call Legacy Life now, and tell them you want to be a distributor, you have shops here, then quickly have a conversation, because these are organic products. Mind you, so anytime you see us taking coffee or any beverage on the set, it's from Legacy Life. And it tells you one thing: we only associate with the best. If it's not good, Kodjo Mensah, I will not take it. But this morning, I have a very hot cup here, and I can't just wait to consume it. Sometimes, there's a guest who comes, he takes about three cups of coffee.
Wow. Seriously?
On one show. I would never say it's Awudu. I would never mention his name. But so, Ghanaians are watching us this morning, and it's nice to finally have you in studio talking about these wonderful products that we've been making noise about. So speak to them. Tell them why Legacy Life. And this is your camera device.
Hello, Ghanaians. I'm very excited to come into your homes, your offices, your cars, or on your phones this morning to introduce a Legacy beverage to you. Our products are very good for your health, starting from the Legacy coffee, which I recommend you take every morning. Then in the afternoon, for mental alertness, you take our Lion's Mane extract powder. And then in the evening, when you are tired, today you hear that people have gone to sleep, they didn't wake up. Even when you go to your hospital and your BP is high, the first question they'll ask you is, have you had enough rest? Most people are not resting due to the kind of jobs or works we are doing. So you take our Reishi extract powder, you'll be able to fall into deep sleep. When you wake up, you feel very, very energized. When you wake up early morning, our hot choco is there. Our Legacy, our Divine Choice toothpaste is there, which is organic, which will help you. So there are some toothpaste, when you use it, it's as if, when you even eat, you don't feel the taste of the food immediately. But with Divine Choice toothpaste, organic mushroom toothpaste, when you use it, it takes care of all mouth odor, it takes care of all dental issues, and then gives you the confidence you need for your day. So use Legacy products and have a better health. Thank you very much. God bless you all. If you want to be a major distributor, just get in touch with us on 055-072-5606. And then also the other numbers on the screen. Kindly take it and then get in touch with us. God bless you all.
God bless you too for coming, and God bless you for making our morning special here on the show.
Thank you.
Josiah Divine, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Legacy Life, listen, Charlie, you need to make sure that they make sure your mornings are super, and when you're going to bed too is super. So from morning, afternoon, evening, there's something from Legacy Life, and you need to brush your teeth too well. The Divine Choice. And there's one other product, that's deodorant. It be raw. So you see, I know the product.
Organic,
absolutely.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
It does not leave any stain in your armpit and gives you the confidence for your day.
Absolutely. So for general wellness and well-being, Legacy Life is your best bet. Make sure you call the numbers and find all their products in any of the malls, the pharmacies at the various malls, and get their products for you, your family, your loved ones as well. Even your haters, when you give it this, they'll start liking you. Well, that's it for the show this morning. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a great run, and thank God so much for bringing us to a successive end of the show. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. God willing, tomorrow we are back with more. Stay with us.